congratulations if you get picked at the weekend on 400 games. What would you, knowing everything you know now, what would you say to Richie Myler about to make his debut for Widnes in 2007 or whatever it was?
That is a good question. I don't know. That seems a long time ago, and that is a lot of. There's a lot of memories and stress and everything gone into that, into those 17, 18 years of playing. I think the beauty I've always had is I love playing rugby league. No matter, even if it's been hard times through injury, if it's been successes of winning cups or whatever, I've always loved the feeling just before you go out and play. Those 20, 25 minutes when you sat in the changing room waiting to go out, I'm either constantly on the toilet or I'm being sick. And that adrenaline rush and that nervous energy, I think the day that stops will be the day I'll actually decide to say that's enough. Because I've been fortunate that every game I pretty much feel that way just before I go out, that the adrenaline kicks in and you get to go out there and run headfirst into people for a living. So it's quite fun.
It's just like that in the stands, almost. You've played in some big games, as you mentioned, but are there any games that stand out that aren't the big games that people would never think about that stand out in your memory of your career?
Well, I think you never forget your debut. I think you never forget obviously playing at Batley when I was sat on the bench and I come on second half. And you never forget that. And like I said, I've been fortunate to play at Wembley a couple of times and win there. I've been fortunate to play Old Trafford and unfortunately lose 3 times, which is. But no, I think it's hard to pinpoint one particular game. If I'm being honest, I think there's been quite a lot of memories. My England debut as well. That's a good one from playing at Doncaster against Wales. 2008, I think that was, 2008. So that seems, it's hard really. I think all of them in different merits. Like obviously winning at Wembley was unbelievable. I don't think winning with a crowd and I think I'll be one of the first people to ever win one without a crowd at Wembley. So that's special in itself. Probably the most memorable game and weirdest game the most memorable game and the one that'll stick with me forever will be the Rob Burrow testimonial game, Jamie Jones Buchanan one. I think that moment epitomises what our sport's about, and I don't think I'll ever play in a game which means when the bigger picture meant more than the actual match. I think that was the feeling in that one, and I got subbed off for Rob Burrow, and I think there's a moment when I obviously give him a hug as he come on. And I don't think I'll ever, no matter what happens in rugby, I think I'll ever forget that game. That was a pretty special moment.
That 2020 final, now we're almost 4 years on from that. How weird was the whole day and the build-up and everything around playing the biggest game in rugby league in front of absolutely no one?
Yeah, there's about 100 people in the stand, weren't there? To be honest, I know it sounds daft, but when you're playing, there's that much going on, and the position and the roles that I play in the game, you don't really notice it in the actual moment of the game. Obviously, the build up around the game. I've been fortunate to play at Wembley in a massive crowd, so the warm up and the walkout and all that stuff, you feel the tension of it all. But once the actual game kicks off, it's kind of background noise in the nicest way. You fade out and you're concentrating on every single play. So it didn't feel too different in the actual game. It was probably around the game that felt a bit different and a bit weird and strange. But I think we got used to playing without a crowd because we played the back end of that season without a crowd. So it wasn't as alien as you think. But looking back now, you probably think, well, actually, it's completely ridiculous that we played in a 90,000 seater stadium with 100 people.
And I'm asking you questions if you're retiring, but when will you know when that hunger's gone? Is it just a matter of there'll be one day where you just think, that's it, and I'm walking away?
I don't think I'll ever walk away from the game in the sense of completely. I absolutely love it. It's just something I've known forever, and it's what I've put my whole life into. But I think my body will probably tell me enough's enough. At the moment, it feels great, so I'm not there yet. I'm nowhere near that. But in the same breath, like I said to you, I still get that same nervous anticipation before I go out, and I don't think you can ever find that. And whenever you speak to past players that finish playing the game, they always say the same thing, that they miss that dressing room environment just before you go out to play. So I don't, like I said, I don't know when that time comes. Obviously, inevitably it will come at some point. I'm hoping it's still several years down the track, if I'm being honest. But like I said, I'm still enjoying my rugby, and I still get the same feeling and endorphins from it.
Finally, then on Sunday, if Andrew Henderson does pick you and you get your 400th game, what are you expecting from Oldham? Because obviously, like yourselves, they were knocked out of the Challenge Cup last week, so they're going to be hurting like you are.
Definitely so. But like I said, I just said before that the coach by a very good coach that I had at Leeds with Sean Long, and he's very skilled in the way he preps his teams and the way he dissects teams. So we know, and they've recruited very well for a League One team who technically should really be in the Championship team, with the recruitment and the way they're going about the business. So no, we know it's going to be a really tough match on Sunday, and we're prepping for a really, really tough game, and that's why we know we've got some things in the areas in our game from last weekend that we didn't get right, and we hurt ourselves a lot. Our penalty count was terrible, and obviously the sin binnings didn't help. So if we can rectify a bit of that, will give us a better chance in the game. But no, we're preparing for a really, really tough game on Sunday.